Hello, my name is Tiffany Chang, and this is Conductor as CEO, where I share some of my ideas about leadership. I imagine a world where conductors make artistic organizations great, like CEOs make businesses great, first by being of service to its people. One of the things that I do after each rehearsal is to reflect on what happened. What didn't go so well? What went better than I thought? Where did I miscalculate? I then try to find ways to recalibrate the plan and strategies going forward. Tweaking the rehearsal schedule. What kinds of notes do I give and how do I give them? I'm always frustrated by something, and my goal is to relieve or find a solution for that frustration. This is normal for all conductors. And as all conductors, I always find that I run out of rehearsal time. So, when we have multiple performances of the same show, I have the habit of relentlessly rehearsing, even after the first performance. And after each performance, I'd go back and practice my reflection and send some notes via email or print them out and put it on the music stands at the next performance call. I might also make a list of notes that I thought would be more effective if I delivered them in person via a conversation. To me, striving to be better doesn't stop just because we're in performance mode. And now that I think of it, a little part of me was always scared to do this. And I'd always think, would the musicians care? Would they think that I'm micromanaging? Are they annoyed by this? Fortunately, often I would be pleasantly surprised to hear that they appreciate the notes and they will do their best to make the music better. And this got me thinking. Musicians naturally want to continually improve. But in a group setting, why is every single musician not actively involved in this process? Why are we passive in waiting to be given notes? Especially if when we get them, we develop a sense of agency right away. The US Army developed a debriefing process called the After Action Review, or the AAR, which takes place after each mission to identify and reflect on successes and failures in order to improve future performance. While the AAR in the military context often involves scenarios of life and death, this tool for group reflection has been widely adopted by teams in many industries. And I think the AAR could have a profound impact on large ensemble culture at any level. Here's how it typically works. As a team, participants ask themselves, what were our intended results? What were our actual results? What caused our results? And what will we sustain or improve? I think it's worth considering this. When we play a solo recital, we engage in AAR-like reflection activities ourselves all the time. When we play a big solo in orchestra, we may also do this. But we don't ever meet as a section or as an orchestra and talk about what went wrong in this tempo transition here today. Or even just to say, wow, this section was really awesome. What do we do? How can we make it happen again tomorrow? In the sports context, many hours are spent in reviewing game footage as a team with the coach. It may not be all fun and the conversations are by design difficult, but it helps the team avoid the same mistakes in the future and it helps them come up with clear, actionable steps to improve. It also helps re-articulate the shared goals and inject a renewed sense of purpose. Large ensemble work is teamwork. So why don't we engage in these reflections as a group regularly? And if we do it at all, it's often one-sided. coming from the conductor or the leader. Conductors are expected to come up with solutions in private, in their mind, and then report back, either immediately after a run-through or in the next rehearsal. Similarly, stage directors often sit with the entire cast and read through the list of notes. Sometimes a conversation ensues about a particular note, but not often. The cast members would just sit there, nod, write the note down. And this kind of interaction and collaboration between leader and group is often the key, and we don't seem to value them. I realize that the reflection I often engage in myself after each rehearsal is in fact an AAR. But I do it alone. And for a conductor to hash it out with input from the musicians is just not how we do things. It is seen as a waste of time for the musicians. Well, I think it's only a waste of time if they are not involved in the hashing. So what if we involve the musicians in the hashing via true group AARs? We could reap many benefits, like the opportunity to show our vulnerability about not knowing everything in the world. The opportunity to learn from what the musicians have to give, both from their perspective in the trenches and also from their particular expertise. The opportunity to build a productive culture of we're in this together and of individual accountability. The opportunity to make our work better day by day, even after the run of performances have begun. We'll feel more fulfilled about the incremental progress that we make in that case. After all, feeling like there's progress and being a part of it could be the ultimate drivers for commitment and achievement. Also, AARs don't have to occur only after a concert has finished, nor do they need to be hours long. We could do AARs after each rehearsal. Sure, everyone is busy and we barely have time for rehearsing, but I wonder what would happen if we're committed to incorporating this into how we operate as a large ensemble. How will we make our process more efficient so that we have more time for rehearsing instead of wasting time re-rehearsing? AARs could also be as brief as asking 2 questions. What are the 3 things that went well? What are the 3 things that didn't go well? And this could take 2 minutes and could be conducted in a rapid-fire fashion. Often, the mere act of engaging in reflection is enough to rectify the problem or improve the performance. We don't even need to have a lengthy discussion about how we could improve because sometimes we all know the basic answers to those questions. Such as listening to the horn solo, pace the crescendo better, let's fix this bowing. On the other hand, AARs can also reveal problems that have nothing to do with the music, like the draft keeps blowing the music off the stand, or the light is too bright and in someone's eyes. Big frustrations of the ensemble context are usually the turn of showing up and play and not mattering or having no voice. While we all improve personally in private, the group dynamics and functionality often do not. And that is the frustrating part. AARs can offer relief and solutions to those frustrations. A balanced diet of regular extended review sessions and quick huddle-type activities could reinvigorate ensemble culture for the better. I always thought that maybe these group reflection tools like the AAR could come across as cheesy, soft, and sometimes maybe you can only do them in a school learning context. Professional musicians would probably laugh it off, I thought. And that is perhaps true in some places, but I realized that maybe we don't do them because we are afraid of vulnerability. We're afraid of having hard conversations about how we didn't quite measure up or we don't know what to do. We can have these conversations in our heads, but it's often a totally different thing in front of everybody else. We're afraid of staring at our problems or people in the face, and we hide. As a result, the group functionality stops growing, and we become complacent or passive about driving that growth as part of the team. And we wonder why we don't feel engaged and fulfilled in the workplace. We can't possibly feel fulfilled if we are not actively participating in moving things forward. AARs can help us be more accountable in linking lessons learned to definitive future actions. In the military, you can't hide from AAR because lives are at stake. Well, what is at stake for us? Whatever it is, I hope it's important enough for us to stop hiding. If these ideas resonate with you, please consider signing up in the link below to receive an email with each new blog post. Thank you and have a great day.